Serious? No, she did not. That is not what happened.
Pushed it back.
That is not what happened.
Okay?
What?
Hold on a second.
Give me your contact information right
No,
now.
I'm going to give you time to speak to you.
Hey,
That's what I'm
I'll
going to
speak
do.
to you after.
we got you.
No.
We got you.
You're
okay.
I don't have to go.
You're okay. You're okay. You're gonna be okay.
I'm a federal officer. We're here checking on something. We have the right to check. I'm
Can I
giving
see
you.
a warrant?
I'm not resisting. Stop resisting. You harboring rioters in the office. So there's not a problem. Let's walk inside. Let's walk through.
For what?
Let me see what's in here.
That's what it's your office.
Let's go. Come on.
Can you stay and
Hold it there.
away from me?
Hold it there.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati. Welcome to the MC Too Tall show, and as it still stands, I am your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. Jerry Nadler. What are you doing, Jerry Nadler? Apparently, police representing DHS, four of them, went into the office of Jerry Nadler, and they were confronted by two staff members that were very confrontational. One of them was put in cuffs and detained. And originally I thought both staff members were arrested, but one was just put in cuffs and detained so they could conduct an investigation. Apparently, Jerry Nadler, from what the story says, has been waving supposedly peaceful protesters into his office and hiding them from police. Hiding them from the Department of Homeland Security. Now, why would you want to hide things from the Department of Homeland Security? Don't you want America to be secure? Don't you want to prevent a suburban mom from having her dinner making or dishwashing interrupted by robbers and rapists? Possible murderers? Why would you interfere with a DHS investigation? They're conducting an investigation for the safety of America. And this elected official, who obviously does not care about his constituents, it's been reported that he was just waving them into his office. And these aren't just protesters. These are not the peaceful protesters as described on CNN and MSNBC and rogue broadcast networks like that. These are ruthless rioters, and you know what rioters do. They destroy things. They commit assault. They commit murder at times. We've seen that at the George Floyd riots, where self-respecting black men died at the hands of rioters, all
in the name of the memory of a black man who died while in police custody. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But anyway, fast forward 2025, we have congressmen harboring rioters, harboring people who are an obvious threat to national security. Hence why DHS was there in the first place to conduct this investigation. And it's not being said whether they found anyone there or not. I'm assuming because the person that was cuffed and parties that were also detained were released without further incident. But if you got nothing to hide, and you're not a threat to national security, let them take a look. They're looking for people hiding. They don't care if you're fluffing the numbers at your office. They don't care if you're money laundering. That's for the Justice Department to look into. And they require warrants and things like that for that purpose. They're looking for potential criminals hiding out in your office. And if you're not hiding criminals in your office, let them look around. Let them snoop around. Okay, we don't see people here that are a threat to this country. Let's keep it moving. Why give anything having to do with Donald Trump a hard time? Don't you want your country secure? And where was Jerry during this? Did he wave a bunch of people in with these staff members and then just take off, leaving them to hold the bag and get arrested? Where was Jerry Nadler during all this? Did he order them by phone to wave people into the office? Did he find some other place in that building to hide them in? What's going on with Jerry Nadler and his staff? Why does Jerry Nadler have a rogue staff? Why is Jerry Nadler himself a rogue congressman? A ruthless, dirty, rogue congressman who should be implicated in the civil suit that the White House is now conducting against the people who brought together the Steele dossier and attempted to march Donald Trump in for impeachment based on a Russian collusion that wasn't there. You're going to see some of these people be forced to have to say they've committed RICO violations. And if they say they didn't commit RICO violations, then it becomes a criminal case and they will have to sit in jail until proven innocent in a court of law, each and every one of them. And Hillary's going down. Adam Schiff is going down. Possibly drunken Nancy Pelosi. Members of Biden's staff. Possibly even an ex-president, Barack Obama. Possibly even another ex-president, Bill Clinton. Wow. When that can of worms opens up, watch out. Jerry Nadler may be one of the people implicated in this civil suit. Combine that with harboring fugitives, rioters, people who are a menace to society, and an existential threat. They love saying that word, existential threat, so let me say that about them. an existential threat to homeland security. Is this what democracy looks like? And don't get me started. Don't compare this thing to the Gestapo. You want some Gestapo stuff? Here it is. Watch this.
We are mobilizing in New York. We have people going to the Republican districts and going after these Republicans who are voting for this and forcing them to either change their vote or face the consequences.
Okay. Now what in the flying fuck? What in all flying fucks is Chuck Schumer talking about? What is he, nuts? Going after people that don't vote according to how he wants them to vote. That sounds like the Soviet Union. They pick a premier and they say, you vote for him, okay? You not vote for him, you go to jail. You go to gulags. So, Soviet-style raiding communities in New York that support Donald Trump. Let me tell you something. We need to vote these people out of office. Use your power of the vote. You have the power of the vote. It's not an illusion. I vote. I vote, and I haven't picked a third-party candidate since 2012. Think about that for a second. I vote, and I have not picked a third-party candidate since 2012. And I have not voted Democrat since 2012. So, you do the math and understand that you don't want to vote for your own demise. Jerry Nadler represents the party of your demise. Your demise. No matter how much you stick up for that party, no matter how much you're prepared to lay your very life down for that party. And obviously a lot of you are, because you've taken the death jab that you defend and insist is a life-saving vaccine. To quote another one of your icons, how dare you? And Jerry Nadler ought to be in jail. And he's another one that spouts that garbage. No one is above the law. Okay, Jerry. Let's change your name to Jailbird, Jerry, because you're going to jail. You ought to be in jail, at least. Jail, jail, jail. You ought to be in jail. Jail. You have to do some soul searching. If you're Jerry Nadler watching this, and you ought to, because I almost ran against you. I almost did a whole congressional campaign against you while wearing this very jacket. So you ought to be watching this and take the advice of a hardcore, extreme, right-wing conservative who is all in for MAGA, 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 and Donald Trump. Perfect person to take advice from, by the way. You need to do some soul searching and ask yourself, if the day comes when God decides to call you off of this earth, does he hold a place in heaven for you? For what you're doing here on earth? For this hell you bring on earth with your cohorts, Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, his husband, Michelle Obama, that spirit-cooking witch, Hillary Clinton, that senile old dog that can't even remember what he's done, Joe Biden, that other opportunistic witch, Jill Biden. Does heaven hold a place for you guys? You all need to do some soul searching and ask yourself that question. This has been the special report, and this concludes this episode of the MC Too Tall Show. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, don't be gross, stay strong, and keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, former congressional hopeful, underground rock and roll hero, and life coach, MC Too Tall. Watch out, Jerry. They're coming for you.